Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you very much for being present. We will now be continuing with our council meeting. This affords me the opportunity to apologize to the members of the public, our junior town council members, and everybody present for the disruptive early morning council meeting that we have today. I kindly request and remind councillors of the code of conduct and the rules of order so that we attend to the business of today. I continue with Roman 9 on the agenda. In front of us this morning, we have a list of people in our town that has sadly passed on. 1 to 3 pages, and I please ask that council join me as we take a moment of silence to show the story. Thank you very much. You are all seated. Also, then, for today, as per the normal procedures, we have a celebration of 2 of our councillors that celebrated their birthday. And I would like to extend warm wishes to Councillor Porter, who celebrated his birthday on the 4th of June, and also Councillor Dixia on the 8th of June. To both of you, well wishes. And I hope you had a splendid birthday. We now move to Roman 10 on the agenda, which is written questions received, municipal manager, the municipal council for any questions.
Thanks, Speaker.
Thank you very much. Secretary Mayor.
Speaker, Madam Speaker, can I address you?
You kindly switch off your light, Councillor Kuntu. Executive Mayor, has your office received any written questions?
None, Speaker.
Thank you very much. Councillor Kuntu, you may proceed.
Yes, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, the council was adjourned more than 1 hour. Then was adjourned for 3 hours. Then we expect as councillor to be expected in this council. Suppose when you come back to tell the council was adjourned for 3 hours, then you guide us why you adjourned more than 1 hour.
Thank you very much, Councillor Kuntu. As indicated when I started the second session of this meeting, I apologize for the disruption and the disruptive behavior that we had from the start of the council meeting. I moved to adjourn this council meeting because for the very first time since our inauguration on the 10th of November 2022, I experienced total disregard for the chair, fellow councillors, members of public, executive mayor, and the officials of this municipality. And therefore, I take a decision that we adjourn the council meeting in order for everybody just to calm down so that we can continue with the business of today. Thank you, Councillor Kuntu. Councillors, we now move to the agenda.
Madam Speaker.
Please switch off your light, Councillor Kuntu. I now move to the agenda.
Madam Speaker.
Please switch off your light, Councillor Tapula.
Madam Speaker.
We are on the agenda, page 788, item E129. The first item on the agenda for today is the biannual report of the Audit and Performance Audit Committee Chairperson on performance management for the period ending 31st of December 2023. Can I please have a proposal in this regard?
Madam Speaker,
Yes, Councillor Kutsia, you may proceed.
due to the total disrespect for the Speaker, the Democratic Alliance will for the first time this term use their outright majority. Therefore, I propose that all the items in the agenda from E129 to E163, except and that the following items E133, E141, and E154 and E161 be referred back. I therefore propose.
We have a seconder for Councillor Kutsia.
Yes, Madam Speaker. Aside, we have a seconder. I'm seconding.
Thank you very much. Is there any counter proposals on
Madam
this
Speaker.
proposal? Councillor Campbell?
I want to know what did the
Councillor Campbell, switch off the light. I'll allow you now. Thank you so much. I'm asking now, every councillor has an opportunity now to present council with a counter proposal on what Councillor Kutsia has proposed. I see the light of
Order.
I see the light of Councillor Baron, Councillor Porter, Councillor House, Councillor Camper, Councillor Kontu, Councillor Machusini in that order. You may proceed, Councillor Baron. Thank you so much.
Mr. Speaker, I just want to check in people here because I can't hear it. Is the system still off? What is going on?
Can you please check for me the interpreter? I can hear him very clearly. Can you hear our
Everybody must be
interpreter?
loud.
Yehu, thank you very much. There's a request that you please just speak a bit louder because councillors can't hear. Thank you so much, Yehu. Councillor Baron, what's your point on the technical issue?
Now my only point that I have at this point of speaker is Councillor Sierra never point for us in our rules of order why you move like you just did. So you must just point for us where does this stand. That you can do it in this fashion, just to check for us and for the people outside. Could you point for us? Thanks.
Thank you very much, Councillor Baron. Councillor Porter.
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, it is with dismay that the Patriotic Alliance representing a specific constituency in this council, with all the respect to all other parties as opposition parties in this council, including the gallery and staff, as you already alluded to, that may have feel and or experience a degree of disrespect. The degree of disrespect that is uttered by Councillor Kutsia is way overboard. When he making a statement and request this council to rule in accordance to what he has put to the table, that is easily on the same way or way of an apartheid regime. Ruling.
Speaker, point of order.
Ruling.
Council what?
Ruling.
Council Porter, there's a point of order.
Absolute disrespect against every person that has been elected into this council.
For the second time,
With
Council.
an idea that the DI can alone rule in this council without any opposition party representing their constituency to say a word. That is not going to happen today.
shocking.
For the third time, Councillor Porter.
That is not going to happen today. You must call that man to order. Your whip must call him to order. Or else you can go and caucus and bring a better decision that respect everyone in this town.
For the
Madam Speaker.
For the fourth time, Councillor Porter, there was a point of order called by the council work. Please note that for 4 times you have disregarded me.
You are disregarding Mossel by man.
Madam Speaker.
I
point
know,
of
thank
order.
you so much.
Madam Speaker, the previous councillor has made statements that are not in line with the Code of Conduct of Councillors, Rule 40. The previous councillor has disregarded the speaker now on numerous times. And Speaker, this is just a continuance of earlier in the day. Therefore, in terms of Rule 67(1), we put forth that the matter now be put forth to a vote. No further debate needed as it's exhausted, as there's continued disregard. So in terms of Rule 67, we move now that this motion be put to a vote.
Point of order, Speaker.
Motion.
Motion. Which motion? Which motion? Madam Speaker, point of order, Speaker.
Thank you very much, Councillor Porter. Councillor Porter, can you please switch off the light? Councillor Camper.
Yes, Madam Speaker, I want to stand for next day. I fully support Councillor Porter. To start to say
Madam Speaker,
we are
point of
19
order.
in this council and we can make whatever we want to do. It's not on.
Madam
Speaker.
the-
I respect you, Speaker. You know I respect you
Councillor
and I
Camper.
know you. We can't allow that someone come here today and tell us to say we are 19 in this council majority and we will decide. There's other people voting also here outside, and I said to the councillor, it's not the first time that this councillor, and he must apologize for that. Councillor, you said,
Point of
please,
order, Madam Speaker.
point of order. No, it's not a point of order. It's disgusting.
You indicated that you will rise on a point of order. You
You
did
shut
not
up
rise
when
on
you
a point
speak,
of
man.
order.
Yeah,
Madam Speaker.
no minutes. It's not. Then there's no need for us to be in this council anymore.
Councillor Camper.
Yes,
There was-
Speaker.
Thank you very much. There was a point of order called by the council work. Can I have the light for the council work? For the other councillors to keep on their lights?
Madam Speaker, with all due
Just 1 moment, Councillor Camper.
Yes, Speaker.
Not once, not twice, numerous times. And you were correct when you say that you have always shown respect towards the chair.
Mm.
Today's a bit different. Yourself and many other councillors. I just want to again remind you of the order rules. You will have an opportunity to speak, but when a point of order being called, then the speaker grants such an opportunity to the councillor. And then I would think that you would show respect in terms of just allowing for the fellow councillor to speak. Thank you very much for understanding that we will keep to the rules of this council. Thank you, Councillor.
Madam
You may
Speaker,
proceed.
the previous speaker rose on a point of order. He did not indicate in terms of which point in the rules of order he is
Yes,
raising.
you do it also.
I am still in terms of Rule 67(1), moving that we put this matter to a vote now, Madam Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I note your request. I will allow for Councillor House and then Councillor Pontu in that order to speak before I ask for a counter proposal. Councillor Baron, can you switch off your light? I'll allow Councillor House to speak. Thank you. You may proceed. Councillor House.
Thank you, Councillor Ron. Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, it is a matter of great irony to me that the Democratic Alliance would choose to behave so undemocratically in the Council today. The constitutionality of not allowing a single item to be debated in this chamber surely cannot be recognized by the rest of us as being legitimate. Every ACDP voter through this now has been disenfranchised and disrespected through this proposal. And Speaker, I would like it if the proposer could please confirm via the rules and those procedures and regulations that govern council meetings on what grounds he has made such a proposal. Because, Speaker, I'd like to just caution the proposer and the seconder of this resolution that the legislation specifically forbids them from making any kind of proposal in this council chamber that is contrary to legislation. And I, for one, will certainly pursue the fact that I was not allowed to democratically represent my voters in this chamber today. There are several items on this agenda that I'd like to speak to. I am not in favour of the disruption that's been going on in council today. I would like to proceed with the order of business. We've all been elected here to represent voters, and I would like to do that today.
Thank you, Councillor First. Councillor Kuntu.
I want to concur with Councillor House. And I must also say to you, Madam Speaker, to call you out of order, because you only see a person that is doing the things that are out of order. While Councillor Kamfa, the councillor, the chief whip, was also speaking when the councillor was speaking. So it's also out of order. You cannot say on this side and you don't see on that side. The other thing that I must raise here, and we all have rules of this council. We must abide by the rules of this council. The councillor was adjourned for more than 1 hour. We have a rule here, adjournment of the councillor for a specific time, 65. So I just want to understand which rules that was used to adjourn more than 1 hour.
Thank you very much, Councillor Kuntu. Councillor Baron.
Speaker, thank you. Speaker, I start off by saying that councillor that made the proposal must vote for us. The DA is the majority party. They have entitled to whatever they want to do in this council. Because they have
No.
Listen to me.
Please, colleagues, please.
Please, I'm asking me.
Councillors, allow for Councillor Baron to speak.
Thank you. So if the council can put our rules that governs this council, there is nothing that my party can do. So let it just put. If we can put out of the rules of order, then it's fine. Then my party will accept. And then we will go to our voters out there to say what they need to do. But let it just vote for us. Thank you. Take a while, we will vote now. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Baron. Councillor Boyson.
Madam Speaker, I can
Can you please kindly switch up your light? Thank you, Councillor Machisini. Councillor Boyson.
call for caucus, please. DA caucus. 10 minutes, please.
10 minutes.
Next time.
Councillors, please.
Thank you.
Councillor Boyson, just can you back to your seat?
I look forward.
Please just back to your seat, colleagues. I've been very lenient this morning. Both as a principled person of values and as the speaker who needs to attend to the business of today, adhere to the rules and ensure that we proceed with our council. Colleagues, I must say to you, very bad. I concur with you, Councillor House. One can never be in support of the chaos and the ill discipline of councillors displayed here this morning. And we can only imagine what the reasons are. But we are still public representatives. We are guided by the rules of order. And I please ask you, councillors, when we come back from the caucus, which I am going to grant, I will institute the rules of order against any councillor who is totally ill-disciplined, because we cannot. This is an embarrassment to the people outside and to ourselves as a team. 10 minutes caucus granted to the Democratic Alliance. Thank you.
Yeah.
Caucus runs with the pullers up to your company country.
Right, you can close it up towards.
Chairman, Dr. Nicola. Thank you very much, councillors. The Democratic Alliance has asked for focus. Will now allow for Alderman Boyson to address council. You may proceed. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'll give over for Councillor Ludwig Sputzier.
Madam Speaker.
Councillor Coetzee, you may proceed.
Madam Speaker, I reiterate my proposal, and there is nothing in the rules that preclude my proposal. I further rely on Rule 54 and 67. The vote has been called for, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much, Councillor Coetzee. That is noted. Councillors, we then have a proposal by the DA. Do we have a counter proposal? Is there any counter proposal on the proposal of the DA? Councillor Porter, you may proceed.
Speaker. And I also want to call on the general public, the society, of Mossel, whom I presume is listening online, mindful of the fact that the first half of this council this morning had a lot of glitches according to the listeners out there, to the extent that they could not even make out anything of what transpired this morning, which is not a true reflection in terms of what's supposed to be an open council. On that proposal, the Patriotic Alliance vehemently opposes. And we are very clear that that is tantamount to an apartheid rule which cannot be allowed. We are in almost 30 years in our constitutional democracy. We are saying that we are representatives, public representatives of the specific constituents. And not only the only party as the Patriotic Alliance sitting here, we have the ACDP, ICOSA, ANC in Freedom Trust also. Those numbers that have elected us into this council cannot be receiving the DA slap in our face because you are having numbers in this council. That's not how things work. We will have our constitutional right to debate on issues, and if we cannot debate, then I say again, unequivocally, that this is an apartheid rule system, right? And we cannot allow it.
Thank you, Councillor Porter. Is that your counter proposal? Do you have a seconder?
Speaker,
No.
I will second it, Speaker.
Thank you, Councillor Campbell. Second, I will allow for, was it your last? Councillor House, I'll allow you to speak.
Yes, thank you, Speaker. I would like to second third that motion. In fact, I would like the opportunity to represent my voters regarding every single item on the agenda. And I am, yes, I'd like to express my disappointment at the manner in which the Democratic Alliance is proposing these items to the council. It does not offer our residents out there a fair opportunity to be heard regarding the state of the council today. Some of them, which are very pertinent, there's land alienation issues, there's policy documents, there's several items on the agenda that I believe are important to our voters and to the residents of Mossel Bay. And so my proposal is alongside what the other councillors have said, that we proceed as usual.
Thank you very much, Councillor House. Councillor Baron.
Thank you, Speaker. Freedom Front Plus is with Councillor Porter. ACDP councillors and their closing Councillor Dowd. Council was also working. Now we had a but I want to say this is so important for us because this decision will have dire consequences. That's why from the Freedom Front Plus side, we want everybody in this council to say with his own words if he support this or not. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Baron. The Freedom Front is then asking for a time. which I will put it to a vote. Councillor Mkuntu, I see your light. You may kindly proceed. Thank you so much.
Before I count with Madam Speaker, as ANC will ask a 10-minute caucus, but I must raise my disagreement with the way this proceeding is happening. I've raised a number of issues, especially the adjustment of the council. That there's a rules. Then the way that the council was adjourned was not in the way of the rules. If we need us to abide by these rules, the council or your side must also abide by these rules so that we can respect one another. If you are not saying anything to us, then it means whatever we are saying here, we don't listen. So 10 minutes for us.
They can take also.
Thank you, Councillor Mkuntu. Rule 5 of the Rules of Order in terms of chairing meetings. Point 4, the Speaker may make a ruling with regard to the application of these rules and in respect of any eventuality for which these rules do not make provision, and no further discussion shall be allowed on the ruling. Point 5, notwithstanding the provisions of Rule 64, the Speaker may also order that the Council adjourn for a specific time, not exceeding 1 hour should circumstances require this. But this morning, and all of you who were present would agree with me, we had total disruption. Point 8 says the Speaker must, when chairing meetings, 5.8.1, maintain order during meetings, 5.8.2, ensure compliance with the Code of Conduct of Councillors at meetings. I was shouted at, I was sweared at, I was maliciously slandered, as well as the executive mayor. 8.4, ensure that any person refusing to comply with the rule of the Speaker leaves the meeting place immediately. I did not do that this meeting. I didn't request anybody to leave. I asked once, twice, numerous times for councillors to respect the chair. 5.8.5, ensure that members conduct themselves in a dignified and orderly manner. That didn't take place, Councillor Mkuntu. And on the basis of that, I made a ruling. And that's why I adjourned the council meeting. The ANC asked for a caucus, which I will grant for 10 minutes. When we come back, I will attend to the proposal of the Councillor John for 10 minutes. Thank you.
Come back.
Now we convene. The INC has called for a caucus. And I would like to grant Council Kuntu an opportunity to address Council.
Thanks, Madam Speaker. I don't know whether will be a position of the ANC, but our position must be recorded. That we are against with the proposal that is raised, that disrespect the rules and the act and the laws of this country. That we must not debate, we must just come and vote here. We are here to debate and then you can go and vote. You know we have numbers, but we are against with that. Then you can record as such. We are against with that. Of not allowed to be debate here and just vote. We are not with you. Yeah, I was looking that name. That word. You are not prepared in this council.
Thank you, Councillor Kuntu. Your feedback is noted. Councillor Kwaza, you may proceed.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. As Councillor Msofu said, in the morning we wrote to you that we're gonna have an emotion of it when Tuesday. We wanna take the request that the council to institute disciplinary action against the executive, mayor, and yourself, Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councillor Kwaza. Is that your motion of exigency?
Yes, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much. I then rule that we will deal with that as per the motion of Councillor Kamfer at the end of the open council agenda. Thank you very much, councillors. Yes, Councillor Kuntu.
Because if my memory serves me well, there was a dual scenario this morning when it comes to this motion issue. Councillor Counter Mossel proposed his motion of exigency to be done with prior to the address of the mayor. There was a caucus. Freedom Front Plus then revert back with their caucus, indicating that there is synergy between the two parties with respect to this motion. In that, there's an amendment that the Freedom Front Plus is bringing to the motion of Mossel, saying that instead of taking this motion prior to the event of the mayor this morning,
Madam Speaker,
that we do so prior to the items of the agenda. That is where we were last. We have not, after that, we haven't indicated to this council that your current stand. So as a result, with due respect, my speaker, this council then has it on a record that we will be dealing with that motion prior to the issue on the agenda. Thank you.
Just to correct you, I made a ruling that I will deal with the motion of Councillor Kamfer at the end of the open council agenda and still stand. Thank you. I did not accept any amendment or any other motion as per what Councillor Kamfer indicated, and I rule as such, and my ruling is valid. Council, what we called for a point of order.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Now, just there is a proposal and a counter proposal before council that right now, before we move on to other matters, can we just vote on this? Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Council. I will put the matter to vote. There was a proposal by the Democratic Alliance, which was seconded. Councillor Kamfer, kindly switch off your light. I am on the voting process now. And there was a counter proposal by Councillor Porter, which was also seconded by Councillor House and all other Councillor Kamfer also supported it. And there was a request from the Freedom Front for a head count, which I will grant. And I will start with a proposal by Councillor Porter. And I request councillors to please switch on their lights and speak into the mic and indicate your position on the proposal made by the Democratic Alliance.
Madam
I
Speaker,
will start from.
can I please, Testing. Madam Speaker, I'm sorry. Can we leave this thing of voting on this thing? This thing will bring a very, very, very bad image to our council. Please, ek beg u speaker, dit het nog nooit gebeur in enige raad waar ek gesit het in die 15 jaar dit wat raadlid Lodewyks opgebring het. En ek wil hê dit moet vandag hier plaasvind onder leiding van u speaker, nee, wil ek hê dit moet plaasvind nie. Los die ding van die woud van die ding. Ek wil vra vir die DA. Dit gaan 'n apartheid ding terugbring in mense se gedagtes, speaker. Please, I beg you for that today.
Thank you, Councillor Camper. I am on the voting. The proposal made by Councillor Porter, I am putting to vote. The Freedom Front requested a head count. So I please ask that councillors switch on their light and put on record their position. Councillor Porter, as a proposer, can I start by you, please? Thank you very much. All the councillors in favour of the proposal by Councillor Porter, I'm on the voting process. Please give the red light to Councillor Porter.
Sorry.
You may proceed, Councillor Porter.
Thank you, Speaker. Patriotic Alliance, without reiterating the matter at hand, vehemently opposed the position of the DA. I would not say Councillor Van Goedewijk of the DA as an apartheid rule close to 30 years in our constitutional democracy. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Porter. Councillor Post.
The ACDT wishes to put on record that I strongly oppose strong armed tactics views.
Can I just, I'll protect you, councillors. Please allow the councillor her opportunity. She does have the privilege to speak. Please be quiet now. Councillor House, you may put on your light and you may proceed. Thank you.
Thank you, Speaker. As discussed previously with Mr. Prince in the rules of order of this council, there is a section that states that any councillor that makes a proposal contrary to legislation can be held personally liable. I really want to remind councillors of that today. And then specifically, Speaker, if I can quote the Constitution, section 160, part 7, sorry. Members of the municipal council are entitled to participate in its proceedings in a manner that, one, allows parties and interests reflected within the council to be fairly represented, and secondly, is consistent with democracy. Speaker, none of that is being adhered to today by the proposal of the Democratic Alliance Councillor. And I would like to urge the councillors to consider their view, because they can be held personally liable for every decision that is now made in this council chamber today. All these items that have been pushed through like this have got cost implications. And should those items be taken on review, which I will personally seek to do, Speaker, I will find legal counsel on this matter to take these items on review, and then every councillor that votes for this can be held personally liable in a personal capacity.
Thank you very much, Councillor Gous. Your position is recorded as such. Councillor Gwaza.
We as an ANC will vote against.
Thank you very much. We're doing a head count, so you can just indicate your name and say that you're in support of the proposal of Councillor Porter. But I take that. Thank you, Councillor Gwaza. It is recorded for record. Councillor Matusini.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. First of all, I've tried several times to raise my hand. I see that's why the people, they just talk, because you don't recognize them. Then you check who raised, who is not raised. Because I was trying before even TA go to Caucus, I was trying to raise to show you I want to talk, but you didn't give me that chance. I thank you. I don't say anything.
Councillor Machesini, we are on a head count. Are you abstaining or are you in favour of the proposal of Councillor Porter?
Yes, okay.
Thank you very much, Councillor Machesini. It is recorded. Councillor Mkunti, Machesini.
Uyayibona le meko le. Uyayibona le meko nisibuyisela kuyo. Inzima kakhulu. Ndiphetha ke ndiyi-understanda nemeko into yokuba
Thank you. You could just wait a minute. We just need to assist Councillor Porter, Councillor Councillor. Thank you. You may proceed. Sorry, Councillor Mkunti, you may proceed.
ndiphetha ndiyi-understanda nemeko yento yokuba le nto besizayiphakamisa kwi-motion yokufihlelwa kwe-information ekumele iyatheplishwa ngokuqeshwa kuka-MM. Ngale ndlela nenza ngayo ngokuyicela nje into yokuba le councillor aniyihloniphi. Abantu nini imajority. Elinye icala ndifuna we are against them.
Thank you very much, Councillor Mkunti. I am allowing the speeches, but just to correct you, the motion of exigency of Councillor Farnford will be dealt with after the open council meeting agenda. It's not off the table, so please don't mislead council or the public. It is still, as I've indicated to Councillor Porter, it's still something that I will definitely deal with. Thank you. Councillor, please switch off your light, Councillor Kamfer. We on the voting process.
Yes. Speaker, ek wil met afgrys en skok wil ek my teleurstelling uitspreek en saam met Raad Porter stem in die geval. Ek het nooit gedink ek sou weer 'n apartheid stelsel wees sodat ek vandag gesien. En is jammer om te sê, Speaker, onder leiding van u as leier en eerste vroue speaker in ons dorp, onder wie ek gedien het al, wil ek moet skok sê, dit wat daar plaasvind, is onaanvaarbaar. Is skokkend vir ons dorp, om te weet dat 'n man soos Lodewijk, en dan vir die bruin en swart raadslede, van die DA, ek wil vir julle vandag sê, julle moet teruggaan en gaan dink, want dit wat gebeur is onder julle vaandel, julle laat dit toe, dat ons teruggaan as 'n dorp, na apartheid toe, onder mense wat niks omgee vir ons nie.
Councillor Kamfer,
Hello, Speaker.
your accusations
Okay, trek het terug.
is out of line, and I ask you,
That's okay, Speaker. It's just,
can we just get,
hulle lag mos.
can we just get
Lag julle man. Hulle lag mos.
the gallery,
Hulle sê lag mos man, hulle moet betaal.
no speaking and no participation in the business of council? I kindly request you to respect the council chamber as such. Thank you. Councillor Kamfer, please withdraw your accusation made to the coloured and black councillors of the Democratic Alliance, which was totally out of order and against the rules of order. Can you withdraw that statement?
I will do the rules, Speaker.
Thank you very much, and I accept. Councillor De Bula, your head count, please go on record. Councillor House, can you please just switch up your light? I'm on the voting process now.
So one question for clarity. Do all the councillors understand that we are now voicing our objection or our support of Councillor Porter's motion? Okay.
Thank you very much. Just again for clarity, We are doing the head count. In other words, we're saying into the mic on record that you are in support or that you are against what Councillor Porter has raised. I'm busy with that counter proposal now, Councillor Host. You good? You may proceed, Councillor De Pula.
Enkosi, Madam Speaker. Into eqhubeka apha namhlanje ngezinto baleke zimbali. Ngiphakamise 3 times, Madam Speaker. Awangiphakamisa. Ngimele iwadi apha abantu abandithumileyo. Ngimele umbutho ondithumileyo kweli bhodi. That is me on undermine Madam Speaker ubana nalolu thetha mna apha kweli. Banika abanye abantu. Asazoba mhlawumbi okanye sakulungile naba usikhokhele kweli bhodi na ledolophu xa uzosiqhuba ngohlobo uqhuba ngalo ube necala elithile njengospika wedolophu. Andiyazi uba mhlawumbi okanye ii-powers zakho ozithathe okanye ozifundise Madam Speaker.
Councillor De Pula, point of order. Councillor Wood.
Madam Speaker, the chair has made rulings regarding who she recognizes or does not recognize. Councillors from it are out of line. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Councillor. Councillor De Pula, I've allowed you your speech. Can you please give your vote?
Because Madam Speaker. Because the vote I've got a actually no one ANC. But the ANC against. I felt to feel it because the ANC feel it most. They are against the organization.
Councillor De Pula, put on your light for me, please. We're doing a head count. So how it works is that each councillor gets the opportunity to on record. So you speak and you say you in favor of councillor of the counter proposal of Councillor Porter, or you are against. That's how we do it. It counts. You would recall normally we vote by the show of hands, but I granted the request of the Freedom Front to do it count. So please on record against or in favor.
Yeah, Councillor report.
Thank you very much. Highly appreciated. Councillor Sutunsa, please.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'm against the proposal of Councillor Faisal Porter and in support of the proposal of Councillor Municipality.
Thank you very much. Councillor Mbu. So we indicating support for the counter proposal or the proposal made by the Democratic Alliance. Thank you, Councillor Mbu.
Thank you, Speaker. I, Councillor Mbongo, am against the proposal of the DA in support of the proposal of the Democratic Alliance. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Mbongo. Councillor Kanamaya.
Thank you, Speaker. For Lodewijk and again, Councillor Faisal.
Thank you very much, Councillor Kanamaya. Can we just respect the councillors? I've allowed some or many to make their speeches, and if people choose to not do so, then let's respect them. They've got a right to vote. Thank you very much. Councillor
Madam Speaker, I'm against Councillor Porter and Councillor Municipality.
Thank you very much, Councillor Maya. Councillor van Rensburg.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Against Councillor Faisal and for Councillors Willibat. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Councillor van Dijk.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I reject the proposal made by Councillor Porter, and I consent and agree to that was made by Councillor Willibat. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor van Dijk. Councillor Leroux.
Madam Speaker, I support the motion carried by the DA. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councillor Leroux. Councillor Furnace.
Good afternoon, Madam Speaker. I am against the proposal of Councillor Porter and I'm for the proposal of Councillor Taylor. Thank you, Madam.
Thank you very much, Councillor Delamay.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'm against the proposal by Councillor Porter and I'm for the proposal by Councillor Kutsia. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Councillor Botha.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. In support of the motion by Councillor Kutsia and against the motion by Councillor Porter.
Thank you very much. Councillor Baron.
Chikore. I'm Judges. Cuba. Sila Buhara Kapums. I'm not enough. You understand me?
Peter, thank you for indicating to council that you can fluently speak your mother tongue language. Can you please put your button? I appreciate that.
Speaker, thank you. Alvin Baron, Freedom from Plus. I'm against the motion of the proposal of the DA for not letting us go through the agenda. So against the DA.
Thank you very much, Councillor Baron. Councillor Liebenberg.
Speaker, Afrikaans, ons is een. Ja, voorstel.
Thank you very much, Councillor Liebenberg. Very supported. Councillor Kutsia.
Agbare Speaker, in die lig van volhoubare dienslewering en as gevolg van die onderbrekings van vanoggend, sodat ons aan dienslewering voortsit, ondersteun ek my mosie soos ingedra en ek is teen die mosie van die Patriotic Alliance. Dankie, Agbare Speaker.
Noted as such. Thank you, Councillor Kutsia. Councillor Klassen.
I'm support of Councillor Ludwig against Councillor Faisal.
Thank you very much, Councillor Klassen. Councillor Bavuma.
Speaker, I support the motion of the Democratic Alliance and oppose the one Councillor people.
Councillor Porter. Asseblief, as die voorstel kan jy asseblief die ander raadslede regverdige kans gee, soos wat hulle vir u gedoen het. Baie dankie. Executive Secretary Meyer.
Baie dankie aan Speaker. Speaker, ek vind dit net vreemd dat vroeger tydens die eerste sessie van die raadsvergadering is daar verwys van nuus wat al reg oor die spektrum versprei is en wat loop teen ons burgemeester. Maar daar is ook ander nuus, Speaker, van lede van die PA wat deur die hoks ondersoek was vir korrupsie. So vir my gaan dit daaroor, Speaker, dat die fokus moet verskuif word van daai aksie na ons burgemeester. En daarmee, Speaker,
Can I raise my point of order?
Can I take the point of order from Councillor Porter?
Speaker, I just want to direct you to the alderman in beautiful blue, Deputy Mayor, that he is deviating from the point. He must vote.
Thank you very much.
And the PA has never been involved in fraud in this municipality, unlike others.
Thank you, Councillor. Thank you, Councillor Porter.
Speaker, ongelukkig so vir daai nuus ook. Daarmee, Speaker, gee ek my ondersteuning aan die voorstel van raadslid Ludwig Kutsia en natuurlik teen die PA se voorstel. Baie dankie.
Dankie vir die tyd.
Councillor Porter. Ik wil restig van dag voor die vrouw om jezelf te verschonen. Ik wil niet totaal. Ik wil niet totaal vlak gaan, want ik weet die zal niet. En dan zal ik andere mensen moeten flexen. Maar alsjeblieft, voor die 21ste keer wil ik vermogen. Voor die als een raadslid van die raadsvrouw. Zal je respect doen? Baie dankie. Executive Mayor.
Madam Speaker, thank you. I think it's the case of the kettle calling the pot, like making all kinds of allegations that's not to the point. But from my side, I support the proposal that we accept the items as proposed by Councillor Caucus. And I'm very proud of the DA in Mossel Bay who allows committees where all these items can be debated and discussed, which was never allowed ever before the DA came into power. Before that, it was just all the items just came to council, and exactly the same happened as what the opposition here today tells us that we are trying to just to bulldoze it. But there's a reason why we're doing this. We will in future not tolerate this kind of behavior and false allegations, Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you, Executive Mayor. And to speak of council, I also have a vote. The proposal in terms of approving item E129 to E163 and referring back items 133, 140, 161, and 154 are therefore support. And my vote can also be recorded as such. Thank you very much. I also need to allow Alderman Boyson. You are the last councillor to vote.
Madam Speaker, en ook my stem byvoeg by die van Lodewijk Caucus wat ek ook gesê het. En hier is die eerste keer wat ons so 'n onrigtende vergadering het. Vergadering met geen dissipline nie. Daarom spoeg ek my stem by Lodewijk Caucus.
Thank you, Alderman Boyson. That concludes the voting matter. We now move to the motion of exigency. I concluded with the council agenda. The outcome of the vote was those in favor of Councillor Porter. The count was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Am I correct? Those in favor of the proposal to refer the 4 items back and approve all the others. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Sorry, we must include the field in front. All right, then on record. Those in support. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. That concludes the voting. I'm at the motion of exigency. That I have no.
Before
Please,
that,
no.
I just want to call in order because you said a thing that I didn't say, and you said I misled the council. You must correct that.
Thank you, Councillor. Councillors, we conclude with the agenda, but I have indicated that I will allow for the motion of exigency as indicated at the beginning of the council meeting. And that is the item that we will now deal with by Councillor Campbell, who has requested me as such. Councillor Campbell, you may proceed, please.
Point of order.
That all councillors are not fully represented on committees, and the only opportunity we get to speak on that is in this council, and that is now being denied to us. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor.
Reader reads aloud text. It's not in window. Window sign.
It wasn't me.
Pop-up window. Check your app.
This time it was.
Slide to shut down pane. Slide to shut down button. To shut
What
down.
you got what?
They didn't help us.
What?
Can I proceed, Councillor Porter?
Okay. Councillor, speaker, sorry.
I can imagine.
This thing takes a lot of energy. Speaker, you've made a very strong remark when we're dealing with the council proceedings, what transpired here, where you referred to that you have been sworn at. Please, Speaker, can you clarify that? Can you call a name say what has been said so that we can have it on the record. That person that has sworn to you in this council before we go to a motion must apologize to you in particular. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Councillor Porter. I note that I'm not going to deal with it. I will attend to the recording of the full council meeting. Councillor Campbell, I now grant you an opportunity as per the rules of order of this municipality and this council to present your motion of exigency as you indicated at the start of the meeting. You may proceed, Councillor Campbell.
Dankie, speaker. Ek net graag vra vir 2 minute Caucus net met my partners rondom die aangeleentheid. En ons is so ver die pad afval. Nee. En ek kan presies wil lus het. Maar ek gaan net so, ek wil net 5 minute Caucus speaker.
Ja, raadslid Campbell, wie is uw partners?
Die Vryheidsfront.
Kan u liggie aansit vir my asseblief?
Vryheidsfront, ANC, almal wat in oppositie is.
As jy die leier.
The Caucus has asked me to grant a caucus for all opposition parties to caucus together as a collective on his motion. I therefore grant a 5-minute caucus to all the opposition parties. Thank you.
Ek kan vir die woord sien mense sê. Julle weet saam die Caucus
Ek is reg, speaker. Speaker, eerstens baie dankie vir die geleentheid. Soos ek gesê het vanoggend, ek wil 'n dringende mosie bring rondom die aangeleentheid van dit wat in die hele tyd in die lig ons nou behang en dit wat ons vorige raadslid Nathan Baker gesê het van dat ons is mislei as oppositie in die raad as gevolg van die aanstelling van die munisipale bestuurder en dat daar briewe van die nasionale minister was.
Point of order. Perhaps just to assist the other councillor. I can just have the light.
Councillor
Point of order in terms of Rule 57. States the councillor may direct the attention of council to any matter which does not appear on the agenda and of which no previous notice has been given by stating briefly the subject of the matter and without comment thereon, moving that the motion to which attention has been directed be considered forthwith as a matter of exigency. Thereafter, it can be seconded, and then if it carries, you can put in the motion.
Thank you, Councillor Councillor Campbell. So I'll repeat the word is for you that you give your indication, you give your reading, your intro. You inform council what the motion is about, and then I need somebody to second your motion.
There's the word that I'm reading here. No.
Page 31.57.
I read 57.1. But any case, speaker, any case, ne?
In
elk geval, speaker, ons het tot die conclusie gekom dat ek die mosie op die stadium nie verder gaan bespreek nie. Die voorstel van Raad se Dodewyk het my omgeslaan. En ek het dit gevoel, ek gaan nie 'n naam na die Caucus en besluit dat ek gaan die mosie op die stadium, gaan ek die mosie dat ek aangevra terugtrek, speaker.
Thank you, Councillor Campbell. You can please switch off your light. Councillors, Councillor Campbell again has indicated that he is withdrawing his motion of exigency, and I please request that it is recorded as such. Yes, Mayor. Can I continue? Okay. I see no light.
This item is a matter of urgency, carrying a motion from the ACBC side that this situation that is developed in the media with the allegations and the proof that is being provided that information was withheld, critical information was withheld from councillors, be debated in this chamber, and also that we be informed about exactly what happened and why it happened. And that at the very least an apology be presented to opposition councillors for what is happened. Thank you so much, Speaker.
Thank you, Councillor House. Are you indicating that your motion that it must come as an item to the council, or are you carrying a motion of exigency?
Thank you so much,
Speaker, point of order. Speaker, again, just to assist the other councillors, Rule 57 stipulates in 57.1 exactly how a matter of exigency should be brought before council. If we can please just adhere to the rules, Madam Chair, that would be much appreciated.
Thank you very much, Executive Mayor.
Yeah, from my side, it's quite peculiar that for weeks on end, councillors wrote letters and spoke with the media, but they couldn't do their work as councillors and just submit the motion.
then there wouldn't have been a problem. There is no matter of urgency. But I definitely want to share my side of the story, so I will definitely ask for a quick 5-minute focus.
Thank you, Executive Mayor. Can I please just have a seconder?
Here's on the media.
Raadslid, ek nou u mooi gesê u ons trek.
Ja.
Daar's nou ander raadslid wat 'n mosie van dringendheid bring. Kan ons nie respek nou toon dat ek die proses hanteer voor daar weer aantuigings kom? Councillor Gous has carried in a motion of exigency. I please ask for a seconder.
I will second the speaker from the Freedom Front Plus.
We have a seconder from the Freedom Front. The mayor has requested a 5 minutes. The mayor has requested a 5-minute caucus, which I will grant when we come back. We will then deal with the motion of exigency. Thank you very much, councillors. 5-minute caucus for the DA.
Madam Speaker, it's the first time the
Yes, Councillor. And the members of the public please give to the seat at each of the phones. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Dears, asked for caucus, we now reconvening, and I'm handing over to the executive mayor to address the council.
Speaker, thank you very much, and thank you for also allowing me to speak on this or to give feedback on our caucus. Council unanimously gave me the delegated authority to negotiate the MM's contract remuneration and the performance agreement in terms of legislation. That was on 9 February. So on 9 February, Council decided that the mayor, in terms of legislation, should negotiate the contract, which I did. This is something I did with great care and consideration, especially after receiving conflicting feedback from the National Caucus Minister and Provincial Minister of Local Government. So I received letters as the mayor from these two ministers after indicating to the ministers that we've appointed the municipal manager. After the appointment, Council gave me the delegated authority in terms of legislation to negotiate that. So after that communications, after Council took the decision, I received these conflicting letters. These letters were received after the appointment, as I've mentioned, and were only about the remuneration. I therefore consulted widely, wrote various letters to the ministers of local government, and signed a contract with MM that I'm confident can be described and defended as being beneficial to the greater Mossel municipality, and not to the benefit of either myself or any other councillor. This was within the ambit of the powers awarded to me and through legislation. The municipal manager was employed within the maximum TAF, not over, not exceeding the TAF. Yes, and there were differences of opinion regarding the TAF, but that is why I followed the advice I received and applied my mind, and that is what you've asked me to do. So I've applied my mind and I made the deal and I signed the contract with the municipal manager. The item was only referred back to council for transparency reasons, and yes, I did, as I've mentioned in the media as well. I do apologize that letters, in hindsight, which is a perfect science, if I knew this is going to be used to gain political points, I would have included that. But you've entrusted me to close that deal, and that deal was closed. When I got back to council, the deal was signed. No comments or any inputs here can change that. You gave me the authority to sign a deal. That's what you did, and that's what legislation allows me to do, and that I did. And then I came back, and the item presented spoke, which I didn't draw up, and I didn't instruct anybody not to put the letters in there. By hindsight, I definitely would have asked that the letters be in the item, as I've mentioned, and for that I apologize. I should have done that. But as I've mentioned, the contract has been signed in terms of the delegated authority that's been given to me. That seems to be something that many do not understand or grasp. So when the item came back, the agreement was already closed as the powers were given to me. The municipal manager has he's got more than 10 years of senior experience. He successfully acted as MM for several months. He was strategically involved in the previous MM's office, was instrumental in establishing the Joint Operation Command, and the municipality received a clean audit while he was acting. He scored tops in the selection interviews. The selection panel's recommendation regarded Mr. Piren, that was unanimous. Even all the labor unions were in accordance, and they say it's never been before that everybody agrees on the appointment unanimously like that. And PA Caucus are justifiably proud that the municipality has again received a clean audit this time around, and that we again rank in the top 3 municipalities in South Africa, and that we keep on and continue delivering superior services compared to 80% or more of other municipalities in South Africa. So unfortunately, the noise generated about the MM's appointment totally disregard the bigger picture. The municipal manager, according to
my leadership and the team around me who supported, we believe that the municipal manager deserves what he's been paid. At the end of the day, the municipal manager works for this council, not anybody else. He accounts to this council, not anybody else. And nobody in his right mind will see it fitting that the municipal manager, who is the accounting officer, who must account for every single decision that's been taken in this council, must get paid less in terms of the letter by the minister than he was paying when he was a director. Thank you very much, Speaker.
Thank you for your focused feedback. There was a proposal by Councillor Coates, which was seconded by Councillor Baroni in terms of the motion of exigency. Can I please have a counter proposal?
Speaker, if I may, just speak to the matter at hand. As I understood it, it is now on the floor. And for that reason, we should have an opportunity to have a right of reply to what he had said. Specifically, Speaker, I would like to state unequivocally that the ACDP supports the appointment of Mr. Caucus. I do believe he's done an excellent job for this municipality, and I would like to express our appreciation through you, Speaker, to our FM. The matter at hand is not about being audited, not about good service delivery. It's not about any of those matters. It's about the fact that one mayor knew that he was not supposed to appoint the MM at that level. The mayor, through you, Speaker, should have come back to council and re-engaged with his councillors and granted us an opportunity. The mandate given to him was that he would negotiate within legislative requirements. Once that feedback came back from the ministers that said that he could not pay at the upper limit, that should have come back to council. That is the ACDP argument. And I don't want to obfuscate the matter with, we're not denying that we've had clean audits, for which we are very grateful. The matter is critical and relevant information was withheld from us, and we were denied the opportunity to make an informed decision. And thereby the whole council has been compromised. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you for your input, Councillor House.
Yes, if I might.
Yes, Mayor, you can continue.
Speaker, if you look at the purpose of the legislation, the purpose of the legislation is to, first of all, ensure that the municipality can afford the municipal manager, which we can. So that's important. Secondly, it's that a professional HR process has been followed. That process has been followed, and the appointment of the municipal manager, including all the deals that's been signed, remuneration, performance agreements, all the agreements that's been signed, that's been communicated to the minister more than a year ago. I must put it on record. And then lastly, most importantly, yes, clean audit is one thing, service delivery is another thing, and that's why I've mentioned it. The purpose of this legislation, not the legislation, the regulations, is to ensure service delivery. And that's what I'm trying to state. Over the past year and a half, the municipal manager and this council excelled at service delivery. And I would dare anybody to differ from me. And as I've mentioned, the appointment was communicated to the minister. And if you felt that it was wrong, then it should have been communicated back.
Thank you for your input. I see the light of Councillor Porter, and then Councillor Baron, and then Councillor Mkutu in that order. Councillor Porter, you can voortgaan.
Speaker, thank you. Initially, I would not want the mayor to address me, but for disciplinary process, be that as it may, he's been allowed to speak in this council, contrary to our view. Because this contract and that has been given to the MM, with due respect, no offense to the MM. It's a contract that we believe should be declared non-existent. we are of the firm view that anything pertaining to the conditions of employment must have been put very open and transparent to this council. For the mayor today to apologize for something that has happened on which this council has been deprived from taking a decision, that is a misconduct. And it should be dealt with in that form. There is no such thing that one can make such an irregularity that is totally against the prescripts of council and the rules, order, what they do. And somebody can merely or just contravene the rule and ask for an apology while he's sitting in a very key and strategic position to manipulate. Anything that can be construed to fraud and corruption is a cancer in politics, in government, in local government, provincial government, and so forth. It can never be on the barometer of this council to have been put a finger that you are equally corrupt. That is what is happening on them. We don't support an idea that says an apology is good enough. We take this, the management of the affairs of our public, very serious. It is on that note that we support a motion that the mayor and everybody that is involved in drafting the agenda and willfully excluding critical information from the public by virtue of the public representative in this council that needs to make a decision, that everyone involved there must step aside. Thank you very much.
Madam Speaker, question for clarity.
Yes, Councillor.
Madam Speaker, is the Patriotic Alliance bringing a new motion right now, or shouldn't they wait until after this one has been dealt with? Then they can bring their own motion of exigency, noting, of course, the requirements for such a motion in terms of the Structures Act, where all councillors will have to be given a notice beforehand.
Do I be correct, Councillor Porter? I need a second. That's a counter proposal. But in terms of the legislation, correctly so as the whip has indicated, such a motion can't carry. Councillor Baron and then Councillor Kuntu.
We don't want to repeat now what other councillors already said. We as the Freedom Front Plus, the information that we have for our disposal, we decide to ask for investigations from different organizations to make sure what is the truth, whether they agree with us or not. That's why we wrote to the public protector. We have an investigation from the Hawks. There is the Minister of Okta, Nkosazana. I understand now her name is Koptuk, but for me she's MDZ, Nkosazana Dlamini-Zuma. And then also for Minister Anton Bredel. So our letters is out and they must do their investigations. And after the outcome of the investigations, we will come back to this council to debate. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the position of the Freedom Front, Councillor Mkontu. We are on the motion of Councillor House. I'm allowing the debate there. So anybody who wishes to speak, we debating now. Councillor Mkontu, you may proceed.
My Madam Speaker, is to just to question what was said by the mayor. Can I be able to question?
You may can proceed. Thank you.
Mine is just to ask the mayor. Mayor is saying that he is apologizing and he was not, according to him, the letter is supposed to be part of the council. So can the mayor give us the indications who upheld the council, these letters not to come to the council? Because those letters, they misled this council if they were not part of the agenda. Because we must take an informed decision as council. Any information that must come to the council, supposed to be in the council. So I just want to know who was in charge for those that are to come on this council.
Thank you very much, Councillor Mpuntu. I will now proceed with the mayor for his response.
Speaker, thank you. No, I just want to reiterate, I'm not apologizing for the appointment of the municipal manager. We welcome the investigation, that's fine. I think we need some clarity on quite a few of these regulations. Yeah, I did apologize for the letter and I apologize for withholding information that were not even supposed to come back to council, which I asked that it must come back to inform council what the outcome was and the decision was.
Thank you very much. We're still on the debate of the motion of exigency. Last opportunity. The DA has not had an opportunity to speak. I'll grant Councillor Botha. And then Councillor House, who is the mover, the last opportunity before I call for a counter proposal. You may proceed. Thank you, Councillor Botha.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. According to my understanding, Councillor House's proposal called for the mayor to address this issue, and the issue has been addressed. I think a counter proposal is then necessary. The item has been dealt with as requested by the proposal. From the DA side, we stand by our mayor. We support him. We are a party of due process and we will abide by any inquiry. Thank you very much, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much, Councillor Botha. Councillor House, you will then conclude on your motion.
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, let me first say thank you to the mayor for addressing council and explaining exactly what happened, and also to thank him for the apology for not bringing those matters to our attention. I would like to just ask for the record, is the mayor saying that the Minister Anton Bredell was aware of the fact that the disregard had been made regarding the remuneration level, and he was happy with that because he did not raise any objection once he knew that the appointment was made at that remuneration level? Thank you, and then I stand down. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor House. I will then also conclude because I did rule that you are the last speaker before I move to what Councillor Porter raised. Question of clarity to the executive mayor in terms of the council resolution that was sent to Minister Bredell's office a year ago. Executive mayor.
Speaker, thank you. No, as I've mentioned, previous letters were written. My intention was shown. I received conflicting information. There's a difference in opinion in terms of how the legislation is being interpreted. There was also a meaning by the one minister towards the other minister. But at the end of the day, the information was shared, Councillor Caucus, and related inquired, and in natural fact, they inquired and asked if the information were provided, and we did indicate that it was provided. And then we just got feedback that it's been received. So that was so yeah, it's been definitely being communicated. And beforehand, I did indicate that we are of the opinion that it should get on the maximum top, not above, within the legislation.
Thank you very much, Executive Mayor. That concludes the matter of Councillor Coates. Councillor Porter, I move to your proposal. You have indicated to Council that you would also want to bring a motion of exigency with reference to the removal of the mayor and everybody who was involved in drawing up the item and the administrative process. Is there a seconder for the proposal of the motion of Councillor Porter? Can I just get a seconder?
Second, Speaker.
Madam Speaker.
Just 1 second, Councillor Porter. Thank you very much, Councillor Campbell. You for seconding. Yes, Councillor.
Madam Speaker, a point of contention here, I think I must advise my fellow councillors in terms of, I believe it is section 53 of the Municipal Structures Act, where a motion of no confidence is brought, all councillors must be informed before a meeting of such a motion. That has not been done in this case.
No, it's not true. It's not true.
Thank you very much.
We bring a lot of motions over the years.
Raadslid Council.
Slim
Sal ek nou vir u vra, ja nee, dis nie van die slimheid nie. Daai tipe opmerkings hier is maar respectvol Raadslid Council. Sal ek vir die hoeveelste keer vir u ook vra. Elke raadslid in die raadsvergadering het die voorreg en geleentheid om alle insigte te lewer. Ja, soos wat ek het vir u doen en alle ander raadslede, vra ek dat u dan sprekers sal respekteer. Raadslid Porter, you have an opportunity to speak to your motion. Kom eens aan meneer.
Thank you, Speaker. Just to reflect to what the book has alluded to. Comfortably say that the Speaker has entertained the proposal and also allowed a second. And that is on record. Having said that, I was going to continue saying
Thank you very much. You are indeed correct. I did make that ruling. Therefore, I ask for a counter proposal on the motion raised by Councillor Porter, which I'm not going to repeat because Council knows Councillor Porter is requesting. His exact words was to step aside, and of course that refers to removal of the mayor, everybody who was involved with the item. Councillor Porter.
Counter proposal, Madam Speaker. So as my fellow councillors is not led into acting contrary to legislation, it's a simple proposal that we oppose that proposal and that we vote against it. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Councillor Porter. Is there a seconder for Councillor Porter in terms of his proposal that is opposing the proposal by Councillor Porter?
Madam Speaker, I second it.
Thank you very much, Councillor Person. I will put it to vote. Councillor Porter has brought a motion to remove the executive mayor and all parties involved in terms of the item with reference to the appointment or the salary. Ja, ek wil net reg wat ons net die verkeerde motion in te aan die raadsekamp Porter. Ek gee vir u 'n geleentheid. Nie die bewoording asseblief.
the opportunity to get airtime.
Ek gee.
So I'm saying there were two issues which the mayor wrote to the provincial minister Patel and Honorable the Mayor Proctor, Minister of Proctor. The one is with the contract, whether to appoint or not, and the one is relation to remuneration. There has been a very clear message that is sending around we want to pursue. Where the mayor is saying the second part is bad for us. On that note that I'm referring to everything. second part, he knows what I'm talking about. That second part,
Yes.
which has reference to the salary scale, the MF.
Yes.
Now, everybody there is
Will you please
party
conclude?
from point one up until the minute or the agenda arrives here in front of council.
Yes.
Everybody there is involved there.
Yes.
That is what I include in terms of step aside and review.
Thank you very much for your clarity provided. It was seconded by Councillor Comfort. I will ask for a vote. All in favor of the motion by Councillor Porter by the show of hands, and would you like a head count?
No. Just vote, just
Head
vote.
count. Councillor Comfort, I must ask the proposer.
Okay.
He does have that privilege. Jy sê heel normaal asseblief nou van die pad af. Ek is baie lenient vanoggend vir almal. A head counting requesting Councillor Porter, we then start with you.
The Patriotic Alliance on the record and with the red light, of course, supports its own motion.
Thank you very much. Councillor Faust.
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, with relevance to or subject to the investigation that has been asked for, the ACB will abstain until such further information comes to light as to whether or not all legislation was complied with. But at the same time, express disappointment that it was an intentional decision to withhold that information from council.
Thank you, Councillor Faust. You abstaining. Councillor Gwaza.
In support of PA.
Thank you very much. The ANC, Councillor Gwaza is in support of the motion. Councillor Machisini.
Support of PA.
Councillor Mkuntu.
Because these letters, they never had that is information that was to this council. So I fully support.
Thank you very much, Councillor Mkuntu. Councillor Comfort.
Support the speaker.
Thank you very much, Councillor Comfort. Councillor Gabula.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Thank you, Madam Speaker, because that's legislature was putting the table in the council chamber. Don't do anything. I support that motion for PA.
Thank you very much, Councillor Gabula. Councillor Chachunsa.
Madam Speaker, I'm against the motion brought up by the PA.
Councillor Bundu.
Definitely against, Speaker. Thank you.
Councillor Kanamaya.
Against, Madam Speaker.
Councillor Meyer.
Against, Madam Speaker.
Councillor Piancha van Rensburg.
Against, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much. Councillor Van Dijk.
Definitely against, Speaker.
Thank you. Councillor Leroux.
I clearly am against it.
Thank you very much, Councillor Leroux. Councillor Furness.
Against it, Madam Speaker.
Councillor Delamain.
Against it, Madam Speaker.
Councillor Porter.
Against it, Madam Speaker, and just to comment on the intent that was expressed. I don't think that's what the mayor said. I think that comment by Councillor Host was misconstruing what the mayor said, but I'm against that, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Councillor Porter. Councillor Baron.
Speaker, thank you. On the side of the Freedom Plus, we will await the outcome of the investigations. So therefore, we will abstain.
Thank you very much, Councillor Baron. Councillor Liebenberg.
Abstain.
Thank you very much, Councillor Liebenberg. Councillor Kutsia.
Madam Speaker, I vote against the motion and full support for our mayor.
Thank you very much, Councillor Clausen.
Against, Speaker.
Councillor Bergman. Councillor Executive Deputy Mayor.
Thank you, Speaker. Against.
Speaker, against, since it's in contravention with legislation has been mentioned by our board.
I shall also have a vote on again. Alderman Boyce.
Madam Speaker, ek moet eintlik 'n motie van vertroue in ons burgemeester geplaas het. I'm against it.
Thank you, Councillor Alderman Watson, for indicating your vote. Ja, ze zien nou nog een motie, niet, maar we staat het zo. Let me do the count in terms of the outcome. In abstaining on the request or the motion to ratify the Patriotic Alliance, the ICDP, the Freedom Front, which is then 3. Tasha, 3 abstaining. In support of the motion, Councillor Porter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It is 6 that we have. And those against, we have 17. Thank you very much, councillors. That concludes that motion of exigency. And it has brought us to the end of the open council meeting.
Madam Speaker.
Discuss with Waza.
Diabulela, Madam Speaker. Ndiyabulela Madam Speaker, ngimudana uba undivalele ngaphandle bendiphakamisile imuthi
Before you there, oh sorry, Councillor Twaza, can you please just restart? We didn't translate. All right, we'll just start again. Thank you.
Ngikudana Madam Speaker, bendiphakamisile motion yami uba undivalele ngaphandle. Kodwa ukuphakamisa kwami besithi okokubana sifuna i-disciplinary action bayithathe. Siyayiva umeya okokubana uthi okokubana siyaxolisa kodwa loo nto leyo into usithi balala kusha sikupheke kuba okokubana i-information bekusuppose uyibekile sayibona ileta akayibekanga phambi kwethu. So usifihlele information ebalulekileyo ngomrholo ka-MM. So loo nto leyo thina asihambiselani nayo.
Thank you very much, Councillor Twaza. Your input is noted. That concludes the open council agenda. We would like to thank members of the public for joining us. We're moving in committee now to deal with the in-committee action. Thank you very much. May you have a blessed day.
Jules, you can much talk about Jules.